What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 10th day of December in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. President Irfan Ali has announced an across-the-board 10% retroactive salary increase for public servants for this year, along with an 8% increase for next year. He made the announcement this morning while addressing senior police officers at their Christmas breakfast event. The president said a 2-year agreement covering 2024 and 2025 was struck between the Guyana Public Service Union and the government.
Further, we have been able to agree with the union that 2025 will also see an increase in the salary of public servants of 8%. So we signed a 2-year agreement. The 10% this year, 8% next year, and that of course will take that cumulative increase much higher.
And the president also announced salary adjustments for some categories of public sector workers. Public servants on scales 1 to 6 with a minimum of 4 years of service within the current scale will be moved to the midpoint of that scale, resulting in an increase of their salaries for as much as 13%. This will be effective from July of this year. Additionally, public servants on GS 1 to 6 with a minimum of 8 years of service within the current scale will be moved to the maximum of that scale, seeing an increase as much as 26% for some of them. Further, public servants at a minimum of scale 7 to 8 upon obtaining 4 years of service will be paid a monthly amount equivalent to the nominal difference of the midpoint of scale number 6. The president also announced the introduction of qualification incentives effective next month. Public servants with ACCA qualifications will be paid $15,000 monthly on their salaries, while those with a master's degree will get an additional $22,000, and those with a PhD will get an additional $32,000 monthly on their salaries.
This is in keeping with our commitment of incentivizing education, incentivizing training, and the development of our human capital. Additionally, a 5,000 annual increase in uniform allowance for current eligible categories of health workers, and also a 10,000 increase for public servants, resulting in an increase of as much as 77% in this allowance.
There will also be a housing allowance of $35,000 for public servants and secondment transfer to hinterland locations as of January of this year. And there will be an 8% allowance for public servants stationed in riverine and hinterland areas. Public servants will also see an increase in their motor car and travel allowances, the president announced. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Honey, what are you doing? Let's cash out. Let's cash out.
Shop $5,000 or more at any Massey stores for a chance to win a 2024 Nissan Qashqai Sense and $100,000 every 2 weeks with Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot Promotion.
You know what you're talking about? That fellas?
Yeah, I'm coming! I'm gonna put this belt around your head!
Bell! Bell!
Yeah, I'm waiting! Waiting!
A Guyana prize-winning play, Jamal LaRose's Requiem for the Living, pitting sister against sister in a deadly struggle for survival. Felice Robertson stars alongside Latifah Agard, Sharon Taylor, Frederick Minty, and the Right Temple Dancers. Requiem for the Living, Sunday, December 15 at the National Cultural Center.
Your son betrayed us. That dolphin fed us to the shark.
Leave my son onto this! How dare you speak about my son! How dare you speak about my son! Don't speak about my son!
Tickets are $2,500, $1,500, and $1,000, and available at the National Cultural Center box office. Requiem for the Living, a Guyana prize-winning play supported by the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport.
Now let's tell you that the government of Guyana and the Guyana Public Service Union have inked a 2-year agreement that will see an across-the-board salary increase of 10% for public servants for this year, along with an 8% salary increase for next year. The agreement was signed this morning between the government and the union, following the announcement of the increases by President Irfaan Ali. In a joint statement, the government and the GPSU said the agreement was reached after extensive discussions and negotiations. In addition to the salary increases, the agreement also covers adjustments to the salaries of some public servants, as well as the introduction of qualification allowances. For nurses, the government has agreed to grant 100 duty-free concessions per year for nursing staff from the position of staff nurse and above, with priority given to nurses with the longest years of service and those who have never benefited from a duty-free concession before. The duty-free allowance will take effect from January of next year. Additionally, the government has agreed to award 100 scholarships annually to GPSU members to pursue undergraduate and postgraduate studies at the University of Guyana or at universities through the Guyana Online Academy of Learning, with effect from January 1 of next year. The government said the agreement reflects the continued strong commitment of the government to improving the terms and conditions of the working people of Guyana. The two sides reiterated their shared commitment to continued engagement in areas of mutual interest to further advance worker well-being. The discussions with the GPSU were overseen on the government's behalf by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance and the public service, Dr. Ashley Singh, and he expressed his strong appreciation of the tone in which the discussions with the union were held and of the diligence displayed by the GPSU team. President Irfaan Ali, as we reported earlier, has welcomed the conclusion of the agreement, and he observed that it represents the first agreement concluded by the GPSU with any government in recent memory. The president reiterated his government's commitment to ensuring that the lives of all Guyanese are improved steadily and in a tangible manner. Well, the first vice president of the Guyana Public Service Union, Don Gardner, believes public servants will be happy with the 2-year agreement that the union has reached with the government. Although she has admitted that while the agreement is not ideal, it is a start in the right direction.
It's an agreement that as a union we strongly support and we know that public servants will be happy with. There is more than an across-the-board increase for public sector workers, and that's the reason that public servants will be happy with it. It's not an ideal agreement, but it's a start in moving forward in a positive direction, in a direction of good faith between the union and the employer.
The agreement covers a 10% retroactive salary increase for this year for public servants, along with an 8% salary increase for next year. It also includes duty-free allowances for staff nurses and those above that level, 100 of them every year, as well as salary adjustments for various categories of public servants, along with scholarships. Ms. Gardner said discussions and negotiations with the government were ongoing for months, but away from the public's limelight. She said both sides were very professional with the negotiations.
We had extensive discussions, late nights, all day. We had extensive discussion.
And questioned whether the agreement reached back in August between the Guyana Teachers Union and the government tied the hands of the GPSU, Gardner said no.
GTU agreement had nothing to do with our negotiations. Absolutely nothing to do with our negotiations. As a matter of fact, we didn't even look at it because we don't want it to mirror our agreement or our negotiations. We didn't want to also take precedent of GTU's agreement. So it had nothing to do with our negotiation. Our negotiations was basically on the principles of industrial relations, and that is collective bargaining, where both sides submit, both sides discuss, agree, disagree, and then we compromise. We come to a compromise.
Reminded of the union dismissing the government's 8% salary increase 2 years ago as an insult, the GPSU first vice president said that increase was not a product of negotiations, but was rather an imposition, which was completely unacceptable.
The big difference, right? An imposition is where you impose, you just throw it and give it to public sector workers. This time around, you had negotiations, and the union was satisfied because of your position to afford this here. But at that time, we had no negotiations.
The GPSU senior official reminded that the agreement also allows for adjustments to the salaries of a number of scales in the public service, which will see some workers benefiting from increases above the 10%. Additionally, she said many public servants will be able to pursue higher education through the scholarships in various fields that will be offered. Gardner said the agreement is just for 2 years, and the union will continue to press for better working conditions and salaries for its members. A Guyanese incorporated company, Jet Global Services Guyana, today announced the launch of its chartered international flight operations, which it says will connect Guyana to Europe, North America, and South America. The new charter service is set to take off in July of next year. In a statement, the company said the groundbreaking initiative marks a significant milestone in positioning Guyana as a premier hub for global connectivity, driving economic growth and enhancing travel opportunities for citizens and visitors alike. In partnership with Gulliver, headquartered in Bulgaria, and Luna Jets in Paris, France, Jet Global Services plans to redefine air travel to Guyana, the company said. Gulliver's state-of-the-art Airbus A330-200 aircraft offers 269 seats across business, premium, and economy classes. Jet Global Services said travelers would enjoy the convenience of 2 23-kilogram check-in suitcases and 8-kilogram hand luggage, with additional capacity for cargo movement, catering to both leisure and business needs. The company said Gulliver Air is in the final stages of receiving all the requisite approvals from the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority. Flights will be to and from the Cheddi-Jagan International Airport, facilitating direct non-stop flights to key international destinations, including London, Rio de Janeiro, Toronto, and New York. The directors of Jet Global Services include former Guyana High Commissioner to the UK Hamley case, businessman Eddie Boyer, and accountant Kashir Khan.
It's here again! The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Festive Favorites Christmas promotion is here! Members, here is your chance to win and win big! You can win one of 10 50-inch television sets, over 40 grocery vouchers valued $50,000, one of 10 microwaves, one of 10 vacuums, and one of 10 Samsung cell phones. But wait, that's not all! Members also have a chance to win one 60-inch television, an air conditioning unit, a double-door refrigerator, a trip for two to Kaitro Falls, and a grand prize of $500,000. Yes, you heard right. $500,000. It's Festive Favorites at GPSU. To enter this promotion, you must be a member of the credit union in good standing and must have taken your first loan. Each member is entitled to only one coupon. Coupons are available at our Hatfield Street office and our representatives countrywide. Happy holidays from the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. People helping people.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
While breaking bread this morning at the annual Guyana Police Force Christmas breakfast, President Irfan Ali issued a call for unity within the Guyana Police Force, telling senior officers that the force can achieve more if there is a unified approach. The call by the President comes as concerns mount over the direction of the Guyana Police Force amid widespread allegations of corruption involving police officers. An Assistant Commissioner of Police is currently facing more than 200 fraud and money laundering charges in the courts. The President said there is a need for police officers to serve with integrity.
The unity of the Guyana Police Force is what will make us win every single day. There is a reason why you wear a uniform. There is a reason why you wear similarity of uniform by your rank. There is a reason why you're identified by your uniform. Because your uniform is not about an individual. Your uniform is a representation of the collective.
The current acting police commissioner is more than 1 year past his retirement age. His time in the force was extended by the President. The President said though the Guyana Police Force has had its fair share of challenges, he is confident that those challenges could be overcome.
There is absolutely no reason to run ahead of one another. You will win in a bigger way when you run ahead together. And I'm assured And I'm convinced that we have it in us to run ahead together.
On the development of the police force, the president noted that the infrastructural transformation the force is witnessing cannot be overlooked, but he said much work has to be done on maintenance.
But what I want to ask you as officers now, and I've asked the commissioner, is to have a merit system to hold officers accountable to these facilities. Because when you're stationed as a facility, as officer in charge, you are also responsible for the assets under that facility. And you should take pride for the assets under that facility. And part of performance evaluation must be how we upkeep those facilities.
President Ali said officers in uniform must at all times strive to do the right thing and must be men and women of integrity who will always uphold the rule of law. The Ministry of Health has announced that it will no longer charge $1,000 for the issuance of yellow fever vaccination cards. In a memo to all government health clinics and other government health agencies, the Health Ministry's Permanent Secretary Malcolm Watkins stated that with immediate effect, the yellow fever vaccination cards will be issued free of charge. He said the move aligns with the Health Ministry's commitment to ensuring equitable access to essential health services, particularly in the prevention of yellow fever. The yellow fever vaccines are free, but there was usually a cost attached to the card for the vaccine. A number of countries require travelers from Guyana to be vaccinated against yellow fever in order to gain entry. A 27-year-old man who was caught on camera brutally stabbing his wife at Kurukururu last Wednesday has been remanded to jail for attempted murder. The accused, Navin Stahl, was not required to enter a plea to the indictable attempted murder charge when he appeared at the Diamond Magistrates Court this morning. He is accused of attempting to kill his wife, Clarine Stahl, on the 4th of December. During the court appearance, the court was informed that the victim remains hospitalized and she is in a serious condition. The court also heard that the 27-year-old accused had developed a habit of abusing his wife. It was explained that even after the woman moved out of the couple's home, she would still find herself being attacked and assaulted by him. Magistrate Wanda Fortune refused bail for the accused and set his next court appearance for the 10th of January 2025. He was represented by attorney Ganesh Hira. The stabbing incident was captured on a phone camera by an eyewitness, and the video showed that even after the woman became motionless as a result of the stab wounds, the accused continued to pounce on her and stabbed her repeatedly while she laid on the roadside. The incident took place as the couple's young child stood helplessly watching on.
Christmas is more than receiving. It's about giving, about bringing home love and memories to the people who mean the most. This Christmas, the love and joy you're waiting for are in the barrels arriving from far away. The Guyana Revenue Authority is here to help you clear them in time for the moments that matter the most. It's about clearing the way for love, joy, and the spirit of giving to fill your home. Clear your barrels and personal effects with ease this Christmas. Visit the GRA for more information. Make this Christmas unforgettable.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, another important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Across the region tonight, let's begin in Haiti once again, where the Prime Minister's office has declared that the red line has been crossed following the massacre of more than 180 people, most of them elderly, over the weekend. The victims were attacked by members of a specific gang. The National Human Rights Defense Network, an NGO in Haiti which monitors state institutions and promotes human rights education, said on Sunday at least 110 people, all over the age of 60, were killed. It later said the death toll could climb even higher and cited witnesses as saying that mutilated bodies were burned in the streets. The organization said the gang leader had ordered the violence after his child became sick and after seeking advice from a voodoo priest who accused elderly people in the area of harming the child through witchcraft. The Reuters news agency said it has been unable to speak to the gang leader. The area where the massacre took place has been described as a densely populated slum by the port of the capital of Port-au-Prince. Brazilian President Lula da Silva is doing well after undergoing surgery for a brain bleed, his doctors have said. The 79-year-old was taken to the hospital in the capital of Brasilia on Monday after he had complained of a severe headache. An MRI scan revealed a bleed and Lula was transferred to a renowned hospital in Sao Paulo to have it drained. A report from his doctor said the intracranial hemorrhage was caused by a blow to the head he sustained when he fell in his bathroom at the presidential palace back in October. The doctors said they had performed a craniotomy on the president, a procedure in which part of the bone is surgically removed from the skull to treat the bleed and relieve the pressure. On a news conference this morning, the doctors said that the president was in a stable condition following the surgery and that he was conscious. And finally tonight, international news. Israel has confirmed it carried out attacks on Syria's naval fleet as part of its efforts to neutralize military assets in the country after the fall of the Assad regime. In a statement, the Israel Defense Forces said its ships struck the ports at Al-Baida and Latakia on Monday night, where 15 vessels were docked. The BBC has verified videos showing blasts at the port, with footage appearing to show extensive damage to ships and parts of the port. The Israeli Defense Force also said its warplanes had conducted more than 350 airstrikes on targets across Syria, while moving ground forces into the demilitarized buffer zone between Syria and the occupied Golan Heights. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable night.